My name is Dr. Julie Rems Smario, and I'm from the Core 2020.
My name is Gina Ouellette, and I'm a third-year doctoral student in the EdD program.
Well, from before getting involved in this program, we used to work together for the California Department of Education. She worked for CSB, the School for the Blind, and I worked next door for the Department of Ed. She worked at CSB, their program there, and we worked together. And in the program here, she's graduating, and she was asking me, I had graduated. I said, go for it. And a blink later, she's right here. She's going to graduate. Congratulations.
And I didn't even know Julie had been in the program, and I was thinking about applying, and I was looking on the website, and I saw a picture, and I said, is that Julie in that picture? So I texted her and said, hey, did you graduate from that program? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's true business. It really did happen.
So in one of our classes, our professor asked us to look at a dissertation that was somewhat in the same general area as our research. And so I knew Julie had done some work on deaf community cultural wealth. And she had also been through this program, and I thought, wow, I can see something that's in the same sort of field, but also is from the same program versus a program at a different university. And so I pulled up her dissertation to look at, and then different assignments came up over the course of a couple of years where I would pull it up again and look at maybe her methods or her discussion or what have you. And after I had done my research and was starting to write it up, it suddenly clicked that deaf community cultural wealth, that Julie had just really contributed so much to the research in her dissertation, also applied really equally well to the blind community, but hadn't really been touched upon out in the research field yet. And so it really changed the trajectory of how I even interpreted my own research, and was just an incredible, kind of an incredible coincidence that really was so meaningful for me in my research.
The deaf community culture wealth, and also the blind community's wealth, it's a focus on their strengths of our community and the cohesiveness, and it's much stronger. Alone, we tend to deal with society's view of us, which can be negative of us, but the community can push back with positive views of ourselves. Like in the deaf community, the blind community addresses that the same, so we have common ground in a community that we serve.
Well, you're done. You've been done for a while.
Yeah, I'm done, but we can do work together. There's a lot more out there that have untapped potential, so we've got to sit down and have some coffee time and some in-depth discussions. For me, myself, what's helping me is to see how we can use the deaf community culture wealth to apply to the systematic oppression and push back with policy changes in deaf education, especially policy that impacts deaf children and language opportunities. It has already helped people to start to change the birth program that they do, the hearing screening, and it's changed language assessment techniques and approaches using our deaf community cultural wealth. Without that, it wouldn't have been possible.
And I think for me, because blind community cultural wealth has not ever been named in the literature, being able to start talking about it within the blind community knows it exists, but they haven't had a label for it as far as I can tell. And so sort of spreading that out, and hopefully, Dr. Pegg suggested that my dissertation could become a book, so I'm thinking a lot about that and how to get the word out, because people need to be able to talk about their strength as a community. And again, they know that strength is there and it exists, but the rest of the world doesn't know. And so for me, really trying to get the word out there so people can start using terminology that focuses on strengths, because as Julie pointed out, so much of the narrative out in the world is really about negative stereotypes or tropes or what have you, and that's not the reality for people who are blind or deaf.
I've always said that I was born deaf, I was raised deaf, and I will die deaf. Who's the expert here? Audiologists or doctors or me? I think it's me, because I've got the lived experience. CSUEB is a place where I am free to show what I know about the best practices in the deaf educational field without the fear of reprisals. It's an amazing opportunity for myself and that many others in the future will have as well.
For me, I think it's a few things. One of it is, maybe it sounds simple, but the fact that it's a cohorted program is really meaningful for me because we're able to form really tight bonds within our cohort and learn so much from one another. And I think a program that didn't cohort us would not have provided that same opportunity. I think also the professors are really so open to thinking about things differently than maybe they've been thought about in more of a mainstream worldview. And that's been really valuable because it's allowed not just me, but really everybody in my cohort, and I imagine your cohort as well, to kind of push the boundaries of the, what sort of the common knowledge out in the world is and push the boundaries of what we consider to be fair and appropriate and equitable. And so it allows us space to have not just conversations, but to really empower us to go out and then actually make real changes in the world instead of just talking about it in a classroom.
I want to invite you to join with us in a nonprofit organization called Co-Fusion Group, which is founded by my cohort in my class. And during that process, we were really confused, trying to get ideas about the academic culture. But through texting, we inadvertently changed confusion to co-fusion, which we're stronger together. You've got different knowledge about the blind community, and I've got knowledge about the deaf community. Others have knowledges about the Black community, the Latinx community. But together, we can put our shoulders together and get stronger for both professional and nonprofit, put our experience to our benefit and to our community.
I've seen you post about the Co-Fusion Group, and I've always wondered, and I keep thinking, I need to ask Julie, what's this about, and learn more. So here we are. This is what it took for it to happen.